Hello everyone, welcome to these exciting Art House Urban Bright Arts and Education videos. Art House's mission is to inspire exploration and expression in the visual arts. We work with professional artists who will be instructing you on some amazing arts and crafts projects. Are you ready?
Hello everyone, welcome back and thank you for joining me, Emily Splain, the Program Director at Art House Inc. Our mission is to inspire exploration in the visual arts. So today we are going to be doing a project with watercolor pencils. To do this project you will need watercolor pencils. Mine are fancy. I got these on Amazon, but for years all I used was Crayola, so you can use whatever kind. I got these brushes on Wish for $2, so you don't need expensive brushes. And a ruler, a pencil, pen, cup of water, and a paper towel, and some paper. So I have watercolor paper here. There are two different kinds. There's hot and cold pressed. This is cold pressed, so as you might be able to see, there's texture on the paper. So we are also going to be inspired by Kandisky. I never say his name right. So funny little fact about him is that this picture is considered one of his most famous pictures, and it's just the color study. Color study is when a painter or an artist uses different colors and layers them to see what looks good together. So this was one of his color studies. So I created one as well using watercolor pencils. I left one square blank so that I could do that one with you. So these were all done with watercolor pencils, and I'm going to be telling you how to do that today. So I'm going to take out our pencils, and again, you can get any kind of pencils. I think the Crayola are like $5. I think I got them at Walgreens, if I remember correctly. But I love watercolor pencils, and I decided it was time to buy some nice stuff. So how we're going to start is I'm going to tell you how to make a grid. So my paper is 9 by 12, which is very easy to make a square out of. So I can do, my paper's 9 inches, 3-inch squares. And you do the same thing on the other side, and you mark 3 and 6, and then make your lines. This is how you make nice straight lines. And then 12. 12 would still be, we're making 3-inch squares. Which any of you who do math means there will be 4 squares. And if we do more math, 3 times 4 is 12. So we are going to have 12 squares. And then I went back over that with pen so that the squares didn't get lost when I was doing the watercolor. So back to this one. We are now going to start our watercolor journey. So I am just going to start with whatever color I want. I love this color. It's a Aegean blue. It sounds pretty. And I'm going to start making a circle. And then you choose another color that you think looks nice next to it. I like purple. And I'm just going to fill half that in. And if you see, my circles aren't really pure circle. They are wonky and they kind of look fun. One of my favorite color combos is yellow and purple. So with this, I am coloring the inside yellow, but then I'm pulling some of that yellow into the purple circle. And this will create a blending. And this is another fun color, coral. And colors that look good against pinks and reds are greens. Just like how Christmas always makes you pop with those colors. It's because they are opposites of the color wheel. And so if you use a pink, use a green next to it and it'll make it pop. Just like if you do makeup, if you have green eyes, you usually are told to put purple eyeshadow on because it enhances that. It's because to make purple, you need red. So let's see, another fun color. I'm gonna do a purple, just so you guys can see that. It's like a purpley pink. And another fun color that I really love is putting brown with my pinks. So I'm actually just going to color the background brown. This series of videos will be working through how to use watercolor pencils. We'll be using different kinds of subject matter. This is an abstract color study based off Kandisky, who was painting around 1901 to 1930s. He actually went to law school. He was a lawyer. He taught law and then decided to go back and become an artist. So I have colored my entire square here. And I think I'm going to add just one more thing. One of the things you can always do is add color on top of color, because really what watercolor pencils are straight pigment. Pigment is a color essentially, and when you're blending, it's really fun to see what the colors look like as they blend. All right, so I got my water, I got my paper towel, I got a brush. I did like this is a pretty large brush, but it's because I'm not doing any detail work on this. I'm just blending the colors. So this is a nice way to practice how much water you actually want on your brush. So I am not having too much. I'm sorry, my cat is attacking everything this morning. All right, so I'm working from the outside in. Since I added those pinks and yellows to this brown, it kind of is softening it, making it kind of a really pretty reddish color. This is a great time to practice how you like to use your paintbrush. When making circles, you usually want to create circular motions with your brush. See how I dab my brush every time before I touch my paper. This is getting excess water off, because if you have too much water, it will create puddles. And we don't want puddles on the paper. We want just the pigment to start spreading. So this Aegean blue that we started with is very deep in pigment, which means I can drag it into the purple, into that salmon color, and I can take that pigment and pull it out into the outer circle. So this is where you're really starting to paint. Watercolor pencil is essentially painting with water. You are taking color and using water to paint. So there is my circle right there. So the last part of doing this is, sometimes as you're done, what's really cool about watercolor pencil is you can add more color. So when your piece is more dry, I think I'm going to add some blues to it. Or if it's like semi-dry but still a little wet, you can color right on top of it. So this guy is still a little wet, and it is blending this blue into the background. I think I'm going to change to a different color, like purple. Just kind of add a little more dark in here. And I'm going to take some yellow, put that in here too. Now this is far more subtle when you add color like this. right, so there is my Kandisky inspired watercolor pencil study. All right, so next week we are going to be working with hots and colds. So same materials that we are using today. You'll want watercolor pencils, water, a pencil, and a pen, and of course some brushes. All right, and I'll see you next week. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.
Thank you for listening to Art House's video today. Don't forget to like, share, and comment with what you've made. Tune in to another instruction video on our Facebook, Instagram, and our YouTube page. We are grateful to our funders and individual donors who have made this programming possible. We also wish to thank Lil Blizzard Boy from Refresh Collective for our background music. See you soon!